everybody? This is PJ Black, aka Daywolf, and got this awesome gift shirt promoting Suplex. Check it out.
Well, first of all, welcome to Chile. Hope you're enjoying your first visit to our country. I have to ask you about the current landscape of professional wrestling, especially in the United States, with All In Wrestling, WWE, and all this stuff. In your perspective and your experience, how do you see now the landscape in 2019, and how you come to be a values player in Ring of Honor, and how Ring of Honor is put in all this new map in 2019?
Yeah, I mean, it's really an exciting time for wrestling right now. It's really an exciting time to be a fan, but it's even more exciting to be a wrestler because there's so many options right now. You got the AEW and NXT, which is run a separate brand to WWE. And you know, all the guys are making good money again, like it was like 20 years ago. And you know, like all these companies, it's good. Competition is really good. You know, not only locally in the US but internationally. And my deal with ROH, like I said before, they allow me to do international dates, which I really like because I love coming to places like this. I love coming to Chile. This is my first time. You know, maybe next time I'll come here and maybe to Argentina, some other South American countries where, because I feel like countries like this is where wrestling, especially like lucha libre and the hybrid style is growing. Even where I'm from in South Africa, wrestling kind of died out for a little bit. Yeah. And now it's like making a comeback because like, you know, they just dropped TNA off the local television in South Africa. So now AEW is going on there, ROH and New Japan. So it's a really exciting time in wrestling for sure.
Yes. Well, Ring of Honor right now is coming also modified because they are not with some talent. They get fired by All Elite Wrestling, but also has new talent like Rush, for example. There is anybody who do especially want to face in the near future in Ring of Honor?
You know what? That's a good question. That was one of the main deciding factors of me signing with Ring of Honor. I looked at the roster and I was like, yeah, I can have a good match with this guy, good match. And they let me do whatever I want so far. I've had great matches with Bandito. I think he's fantastic. Rush, they signed Rush. You know, like WWE wanted Rush and Bandito badly. But both of them, the Ring of Honor snatched them up. So I was like, okay, maybe this is the way to go. And, you know, like they spent a lot of money on signing new talent, like me, Rush, Bandito. They signed PCO. They lost a lot of talent, but they also gained a lot of talent. So I think it's an exciting time. They've upped their production value. I don't know if you guys noticed, if you guys watched the product, but they spent a lot of money on the production value and a lot of backstage people and stuff like that. So fun times.
Well, in a past interview, you said that one of your future goals, if things work out well, is working in Japan. What has New Japan for you that wants you to be part of one of the cards or one of tours? I don't know.
So when I started very young. I started in 1997, and between 97 and 2001, that was my first goal in wrestling, was to work for New Japan. But the WWE deal came along and it was good money, so I wasn't going to say no. So I tried like 3 or 4 years to get into New Japan, but I mean, it didn't happen. I'm in talks with them right now, so, you know, 22 years later, it's definitely going to happen, I feel like. But, you know, like it's all about timing in wrestling. Like everything is timing, being at the right place at the right time. Perfect example is Nexus, the stuff, you know, like I was at the right time at the right place, and I feel like right now I feel like I'm at exactly the place that I'm supposed to be.
Right. Actually, it was like this time, maybe in 2010, when you guys debuted with the Nexus in WWE. Watching now that moment in this present, how do you remember and be close with guys like Dan O'Brien, working against John Cena, Edge, Chris Jericho? How do you remember that specific time 9 years ago?
Oh yeah, it was fantastic. You know, like in wrestling, I feel like it's very hard to come up with something new. Like all the storylines and angles and, you know, everything is recycled, or people borrow bits and pieces from everywhere else, you know. And like lately, you know, like they mix the lucha libre style with the American style, with the British style, with the strong style, which is great. So at the time, we were some of the first people to do that in the US, and, you know, again, we were at the right time, at the right place. We started the Nexus thing, and they just threw us in there, and we got to work with Undertaker and Cena. You know, I learned a lot. I really learned a lot. And at the time, everything was happening so quickly, too. Like I didn't really take it in. Like years later, I was thinking back. I was like, wow, that was really cool, and that was fun. And at the time, that was something unique. Like I said before, everything else is just borrowed in wrestling or like, you know, taken from somewhere else. But I feel like at that time we were doing something completely unique, and that's why people still remember it this day. And I feel like, you know, like a little kid came up to me the other day. He was like 6 years old. He was like, man, I really like the Nexus. And I'm like, but that was like 9 years ago. And like, luckily now with internet and YouTube and the network, people can just go back and watch all that stuff. It was definitely one of the most fun parts of my career so far. I mean, I've been doing this for almost 25 years. That I will never ever forget. But I mean, there's also a lot of other moments that was very unique to me. But yeah, I definitely learned a lot in that short period of time. I think Nexus was like less than a year, maybe.
Yeah. Actually, is that the attack, the debut, all that race hell that you put on Monday Night Raw, is that your favorite moment in the WWE? Or you have another one with special place in your heart?
I have many ones for different reasons, but that one is definitely high up there, you know, like, because I got to work with Cena on TV and non-televised shows for like 6 months, like every day, you know, like I learned a lot. I was just a young kid. I definitely learned a lot, and at that time, a lot of moves were banned in the WWE, especially the 450.
Yeah.
And Cena was one of the guys to kind of like bring it back for me. So, you know, that I'll never forget that. That's a very special moment for me.
In 2008, 2011, I was interviewing Colt Cabana, and I asked him the same question I will ask to you. In this moment, with your experience, can you tell me one name that you could see could be the next huge superstar? In that 2011, Colt Cabana said Kenny Omega. It's still stealing about that. Yeah, so I don't know. Can you tell me a name?
There's quite a few guys. I think. Let me see. Definitely Bandito. I think he's going to be the next Eddie Guerrero. For me personally, like just working with him that few times, the way his mind works, the way he puts stuff together, the way he talks. You know, he's a young kid. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. You know, he's on the right track. He has a good head, good mindset. I definitely think that he's going to be one of the, like 5-6 years from now, he's going to be top guy, for sure.
El tráfico no nos hizo parar. Estamos acá en el Teatro Novedades with PJ Black. Welcome again to Chile. We were just ending the press conference. Your first hours in Chile has been.
It's been super fun. So I got in very early yesterday, so I got the whole day free. I got to do some sightseeing. I went to the hill. I don't know how to pronounce it. San Cristobal. Right. The hill. It was beautiful. You know, like we got to see the sunset from up there. I took some amazing photos, and you know, first when I landed, I was like, I'm tired. But then when I saw the city, I saw Chile, I was like, oh yeah, here we go.
And you see the mountain, the big mountain we have in the city. So
I did. The guys took me around. We walked around downtown, and you know, I just love going to new places that I've never been and just looking at stuff. And I love views. Like I love the mountains, and like we were up there, and like it was beautiful. It just made me more excited for today.
Well, let's talk about the future, 2019, because you are in Ring of Honor, but in a current interview that you made, you talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling. Right now, New Japan has put a lot of big names in their coming future for the G1 Climax, including Jon Moxley, Kenta. Can we expect maybe in the future the name PJ Black in there?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not going to give you any details right now, but I think it'll definitely happen. You know, when the timing is right, it's all about timing in wrestling. You know, like Moxie was at the right time at the right place. I think I was going to get pushed in there, but he was there first. But I'm okay because I was dealing with a little bit of injuries here and there. And like New Japan style is very tough, and they're running a lot of shows in the U.S. right now, which is great. And obviously they partners with Ring of Honor, so you know I talk to the guys all the time. So like you'll definitely see me there in the future.
And Ring of Honor also have a connection with CMLL. Do you have any mind maybe to work someday in Mexico?
Oh, totally, yeah. I mean, I worked Arena de Mexico 2 years ago. It was fantastic. I mean, I had great crowd response. People still write about that match for some reason online on the Mexican magazines and stuff like that. So I definitely want to go back. It's definitely something I want to do. I spoke to some of the CMLL guys, and I just got to brush up on my Spanish a little bit, and then I'll definitely maybe go stay out there for like 6 months or so. But it's something I definitely want to do. You know, I've lived in a lot of different countries around the world. Like I said before, this is my 63rd or 64th country that I've wrestled in. And, you know, my goal at the end of my wrestling career is to hit 100 countries and then people to remember PJ Black instead of Justin Gabriel. That's my goal in wrestling.
Well, PJ, thank you very much. We have a present for you. This is the shirt, the official shirt of our show, Suplex, 9 years. in the making. So this is for you, and have a wonderful stay in Chile, and best of luck in anything.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
PJ Black Suplex, esto fue Legión Lucha Libre.
So elite when I bucket you V-trigger, I need the coupe. Bad bitch Mercedes the shimmer, you see it breezing through. Stay on my P's and Q's, low-key with Bushido rules. I Brody Kings, tame war horses and stallions too. Not to be curt, but alley cats get it too. I ain't been the same, Angela Slane, I cripple you. Blue fist to injure you, homicide ending you. Then give them game like Stokely Hathaway interviews. Catch the point.